everybody, this is me again, Yulia Skatova. I'm really sorry I've missed you. I was just really busy doing a lot of other things, but I'm back. And today we're going to cook pork. Yeah, I know you're going to say, oh come on, pork on a fitness channel, whatever. But you know, the thing is that what I make here is not for professional athletes. I make food for real people who want to look good every day, and for those people who actually like to have something yummy once in a while. You know, so if you're basically doing a fantastic job eating your chicken or whatever else you're eating to stay fit, once in a while, like once a week or twice a week, you can be really nice to yourself and indulge yourself to nice, yummy, delicious pork. So, what we're going to need for today's recipe. We're going to use some pork. Well, over here I actually have about 600 grams or a pound and a half. Then, for marinating it, I am going to use soy sauce. I am going to use some fresh ginger root, some garlic, and some chili pepper. And to bake all that, because yes, I'm going to bake it, I'm going to use a little baking sheet and some aluminum oil. So, let's go. What I'm going to begin with, I have this piece of pork here. I've already rinsed it, I've already pat-dried it. So, let's see. Basically, I always try to go for pork that is not as fat. Yeah, you know, it's kind of, you know, controversial, not fat pork, but well, still. So I have some piece of pork here. It has some fat that I think I'm going to get rid of. But that is actually up to you. If there isn't that much, or if you don't have that much time, then you can just leave it. So, okay, I'm going to get rid of this because I'm not really fond of it. Okay, and going to remove just a little bit more here. Okay, come on, I'm cutting off meat. Okay, so this is where you stop. Yeah, it's enough to... It's really good to know when to stop, you know, before you cut out all of your pork. You know, so you cut off just a bit of fat that is bothering you, or as much as bothers you, and then that's enough. So, now I'm going to do some marinating. So, for my marinade, I'm going to use this for mixing. So, what I need. First, I'm going to grate some ginger root. So, I have this fresh ginger root that I'm going to rinse and grate. So, I'm washing it. Now, some people might suggest peeling it. I personally go for just washing it really well, because the thing is that peeling it can be a bit tedious, and then while you peel it, you remove a lot of really good stuff. So just make sure that you've rinsed it really well, that there is nothing brown here. Yeah, so see, I think I'm going to rinse it again. Okay, now at this point I believe that it's clean, and if I'm not sure that some of the spots are clean, I'm going to cut them off. Okay, so I'm cutting off everything I'm not happy with, and yeah. Now I'm going to grate this piece of ginger root. Actually, if you have blender, you can just put it into blender and blend it, because the effect will be pretty much the same. Yeah, and if you choose to grate it, like I'm doing it, be extremely careful, because, you know, kitchen is a very dangerous place, so hurting yourself is a piece of cake really. So, as we're grating it, I'm going to tell you why I'm choosing to cook pork like this, with ginger, cayenne pepper, and garlic. So the thing is that pork is generally fat meat. So generally pork is considered fat meat, and not for no reason, because indeed it contains quite a lot of fat. However, ginger and chili pepper as well as garlic, and all spicy foods and spicy vegetables are generally known for their ability to help you digest fat and help you get rid of fat. So in this recipe, we're going to combine fat pork that can be really yummy, and we're going to combine ginger and chili pepper that really help you digest it. So this way we're just going to minimize the consequences, So it's yummy, but it's still not as fattening as it could be. So I'm grating it. Okay, now I'm not grating it to the end. When I reach, when it's not comfortable, I'm going to leave it. Because, I got myself quite a lot. Okay, so I'm putting my grated ginger into my little mixing bowl. And I'm removing everything from the grater as best as I can. Okay. Then I'm going to use some soy sauce. Now what I recommend, there are lots of soy sauces. Some of them said that they're low sodium, low everything, low carb, whatever. Just pick the soy sauce that is made naturally, that contains all the ingredients that soy sauce should contain. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to use, 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. Okay, of this mixture here. I'm going to mix what I have. So I have this mixture of grated ginger and soy sauce. This is actually pretty spicy. Now, I have some of this chili pepper here. Generally, ginger in this dish is quite spicy. Chili is a real killer. So for chili pepper, I would advise if you're not quite sure about how spicy you like it, go lower on the chili pepper for the first time. So start with a pinch. I'm going to use a bit more than a pinch because I'm well used to chili pepper. So actually, I just do it. I stop when I think it's enough. So I would say here I have 3 pinches. And I'm going to mix it. Okay. So I have this thing here. Then, what I'm going to do next, I have my garlic here. I am going to peel it. And I am going to put the garlic inside my meat. I'm going to make some cuts, and I'm going to put it inside to make it taste better. Because basically, if you're baking a piece of meat in one piece, it's a bit tricky. Now for the taste, it's a bit tricky in terms of how well it's marinated, etc., etc., etc. So sometimes you have more taste at the edges, and the inside is kind of bland. So we're going to prevent that from happening. Okay. Well, peeling garlic can also be tedious. Okay, so I've peeled all my garlic here. Now, what I have here for this piece of meat, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cloves. So basically you can start with less garlic than that if you don't like garlic that much. Then I'm going to slice it. So I'm slicing each clove into approximately 3 parts. Okay, if it's really wide, then you can make the pieces smaller. Or if they're really tiny, then you can just cut them into 2. That's enough. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my piece of meat, going to make a cut. So for this you would need a knife that is small, thin and very sharp. So going to make a cut that is fairly deep, and then going to take a piece of garlic and put it in here and push all the way in. Then once again making a cut, taking a piece of garlic and pushing it all the way in. It should disappear in there. So I'm just keeping making those cuts. Putting my pieces of garlic in. And I'm going to make it till they're all gone, till I have nothing left, because they're all in my pork. And then you can turn it and make the cuts from the other side. Now when making the cuts, be extremely careful not to hurt yourself, because kitchen is a highly dangerous place. So be sure to make the cuts. Oops, I lost the one that I made. Okay, so hold the knife and make the cut horizontally in the direction away from your body. And then hopefully you keep your finger at the little hole that you made, the puncture, and then you remember where it is. Okay. Basically, if you don't like garlic that much, you can skip this phase. If you like garlic, go ahead and do it. So, I stuffed my pork with garlic, with a lot of garlic. Okay, at some places it sticks out. If it does, it's no problem. Now, for the next stage, you have two options. You can either marinate your pork and let it sit in the fridge for as much time as you have. Well, ideally at least 15 minutes. Or if you don't have any time to marinate it, you can just cover it with marinade and put it into the oven. And this is exactly what I'm going to do. So, while I am going to prepare it for putting into the oven, I'm going to turn my oven on, and I'm going to turn it on at 250 degrees, and I'm going to turn it on for 10 minutes at least, now, to warm up. Now, so I'm not going to marinate it, I'm going to prepare it straight for the oven. So actually, well, let's do it this way. I'm going to have this aluminum foil sheet in here. I'm putting my aluminum foil sheet on my baking sheet. Then I'm going to put a bit of my marinade. Well, you can use a spoon. I'm going to use my hand. It's up to you actually. Okay. I've done this. Taking my pork. And I'm going to cover it with my marinade nicely and evenly. Once again, you can use spoon or fork, or if you want to, you can use a brush. But for brushes, if you choose to use a brush for this, I have to warn you, your brush will end up stinking of this marinade, and you won't be able to use it for anything else, unless you want to use it for another similar smell, flavor, meat marinade. So, I'm going to cover it, kind of massage this marinade into it. Okay. Have all of it in here. Okay. Once again, if you have time to marinate it and let it sit in your fridge for at least 15 minutes, that's awesome. Ideally is if you have maybe a couple of hours. If you can have it marinated, well, the max you can have it marinating for is 24 hours. say you marinate it in the evening and you're going to cook it the following evening. But then it's going to be very spicy, and then you want to lower the amount of ginger and garlic. Okay, so I've covered it all. I'm going to wash my hands, and I am going to I'm going to wrap it into the foil. Now, I'm not really perfect at wrapping things into aluminum foil, so if you know a better way, go ahead, let me know, share it with me. So, I'm just wrapping it to ensure that it's covered. And also, when wrapping it, be extremely careful to not break it, because aluminum foil is very delicate. If you break it, if you poke it with your nails or tear it with your fingers, then your juicy, yummy marinade will be leaking out, and, well, the meat will lose something, and your oven might stink, and the kitchen might stink while it's cooking. So, let's see. I'm going to wait for a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to put it into my oven at 250 degrees Celsius. I'm going to give the measure in Fahrenheit below the recipe, below the video. And I'm going to leave it there first for 40 minutes. So, ideally, I usually cook it for 50 minutes, but after 40 minutes, we're going to check on it. So, let's see. I think now my oven is warm enough. Well, it's been warming up for the last 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm putting it in. 250 degrees. Now, I don't know how your oven works. Mine has several regimes. So I have heat from both top and bottom. And I'm going to turn it and leave it on for 40 minutes. Passed, so I'm going to take our pork out and have a look at it. Okay, so I'm uncovering it. Looks nice. I am going to take a knife and I'm going to cut. See if it's ready. Okay, it's quite juicy. If I poke inside, I see that it's still pink and I can see blood. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to leave it uncovered and I'm going to put it back into the oven for another 10 minutes. Okay, so let's have a look at it in 10 minutes. See ya. So we've just waited for 10 more minutes. Now we can take our meat out of the oven and have a look at it. See. Now it's browned up a little bit, but we have to make sure that it's ready. So I'm going to take a fork, knife, and I'm going to cut. There's still some juice coming out. Doesn't really look as bloody. Let's cut it here. See the cut? Yep, our meat is done. Just cut. Make sure all the way through. So it's white inside and a bit juicy. Okay. Alright, so with this, I'm going to basically say goodbye, but this can be served hot over rice or over your favorite vegetables. You can serve it with salad. When it's cooled down, if you have some left, of course, you can also put it into a sandwich. Then you can put this into a salad. Or if you still have some left, you can just, dice it up and put it into pasta sauce. So basically this will be good in any form you choose to consume it. Enjoy!